I'm not going to say Boots wins it because he's young. He does some immature things. He needs some of those bigger fights to kind of work that stuff out of his system. But just skill on skill, just straight talent on talent, I think there's a 50-50 fight that I would want to see. Who you got, Akoye? Your boy Boots or Crawford? Shit. After that one, man, that would be a major fight. I just want to see it. That's another 50-50 fight. I really don't know. But Crawford has earned all the respect in the world from me. But the difference is he doesn't have an advantage against Boots. When you have two southpaws, you have a guy that can switch to southpaw. The way I teach people to fight southpaws, you either fight as a southpaw when you're a conventional fighter, meaning fight the opposite. Instead, conventional fighters slip going to their right usually. I tell them slip going to your left. Number one, everything slip left because they only get one punch. If a southpaw throws his right hand and you slip into your left, he can't follow up with that left hand because he has to lift that left foot up, and that takes the power off of it. So very few fighters could do that. Manny Pacquiao could, which made him amazing, and so can Lomachenko. But very few southpaws can do that, and most southpaws can't really box as a true boxer, meaning they don't have to learn how to catch punches because they don't usually deal with a guy who can jab them as a southpaw because they're fighting conventional fighters their whole career, right? So usually when you see a good southpaw, I can't really tell how good they are until they fight another southpaw. Like Errol Spence. I knew Errol Spence was in for it, and everybody thought Errol Spence was the greatest thing since sliced bread. But I said, okay, when I watched Kell Brook fight Errol Spence, I was watching the right hands that Kell Brook could land as a conventional fighter, doing the things I just told you, fighting like a southpaw, doing everything in reverse, slipping to your left, walking to your right instead of circling to your left as a conventional fighter. If you fight a southpaw that way, you can confuse them. Or if you can just fight as a southpaw like Bud can, right? That's why Spence really didn't have the advantage he thought he has, because Spence fights like a Mexican, which is pressure fighting coming forward, which is dangerous when you're fighting conventional fighters. But when you're fighting another southpaw, if he has a good jab and he's used to pressure, you really ain't that special, right? So I say all that to say the angle advantage that Bud goes to when he switches to southpaw, it doesn't matter what style he fights in. If he fights conventional, Boots can go there with you, and he has multiple styles within his conventional style as well. If you fight southpaw, Boots can go there with you and box you there. So there is no advantage for you, and you're not bigger, stronger, or anything. So I think that would be a great fight. I'm not going to say Boots wins it because he's young. He does some immature things. He needs some of those bigger fights to kind of work that stuff out of his system. But just skill on skill, just straight talent on talent, I think there's a 50-50 fight that I would want to see, especially now because they have a little bit of a narrative to add to it because Boots actually helped Canelo in this camp. So that's a reason. That's even added incentive for Bud to fight a Boots. Plus, Turkey Alakash is going to throw so much money at that fight. Why not go get that money now? If you already were considering retiring, if you're Crawford, go get that money. Go get that money before you leave, or ride off into the sunset as the undisputed, you know what I mean? And just, roll out. He could do that. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants to do at this point. I don't know that man's pockets, but I would want to see him fight Boots before he retires, personally speaking. He said 115, 113, no way. Okay. Moving up two weight classes and performing like that is incredible. Yeah, it is. Justin D said that. CEO Sports, shout out to my guy Akoye for his debut episode. You can find the link for the new page on my homepage. Yes, sir. Axel Foley, I like that name. He said, add a head to Mount Rushmore. Oh, yeah. Crawford can do what he wants when it comes to the boxing game right now, man. He took, and he knew this, though, because Errol Spence we thought he was an asterisk because of the car accident. Everybody thinks that. Nobody says it, but everybody kind of thought that Errol Spence was not himself. I happen to think that he would have lost even if he was himself. So I didn't take anything away from Crawford for that fight, but I knew the fans would, right? Crawford knew that too. So for him to go up and fight Canelo, the reason I would see him doing something like that is because all of the opponents that he's had, and he has 41 fights, but all of his opponents have been And that's because of the way Top Rank moves their fighters. That's just the way they do. They protect their fighters, right? And so that's not his fault. But Top Rank and PBC were in a cold war for so long that Terence Crawford didn't get to fight a lot of the guys that were on PBC because, Bob Arum wasn't going to deal with Al Heyman. He's just not going to do it. Right now they might, because Turkey Alakash is, Al-Sheikh, has, control over everybody because he has unlimited purse string. But Bud needed a fight of this magnitude to make up for the lack of greatness in his opponents. He did that in one fight. So that's why, to me, the risk and the way he went about this fight, and the fact that we knew probably at about round 9 where this fight was going, was crazy to me. I thought Canelo maybe lands something that changes it. He started throwing those Gennady Golovkin overhand rights at the top of his head and was hitting him with it. And Crawford was just standing right there taking it. So for him to do that in the late rounds and still be smiling and sticking his tongue out and playing with a guy who we haven't seen nobody play with is amazing.